Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the colourful, air-conditioned, breezy nightclub this evening. I'd like to welcome you to my stream. Thank you for clicking on and getting here, however you did. Please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my stream. Subscribe to my channel, should I say. Please, subscribe to my channel, because a lot of good things are going to happen in the future. So, subscribe, please. That'd be good. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about child safeguarding, gender ideology, women's sports, and British politics. First, though, I'm going to start by answering some questions from people across the world. If you want to ask any questions, you can do. You can tweet me at Alex Bloodfire. You can get to me at Alex Bloodfire. You can email me. You can, basically get in touch and ask me any questions. I'm more than willing to answer. There we go. So, somebody. So I've had a question from somebody in America, and they said, "Why do trans activists always go after women?" And there is really only one simple answer for that. Many trans activists are cowards. Okay, that's the only explanation there is, and it's the only truth there is. They really are cowards, hiding behind cartoons on Twitter, not man enough to have a proper debate. If you question them on Twitter, you very often get blocked. And I just wanted to point out, for some random reason, that Stonewall and Pink News have blocked me on Twitter. There we go. People like them can only deal with no debate and like to silence women. That's what they do. They're not prepared to talk about anything. They're not prepared to chat about anything. They want to silence women, and any women that dare to speak out, they want to silence them. They don't very often come after guys, because a lot of these trans activists, like I've said, are soul cowards. That's what they are, and that is why. Okay, so that's your answer, Miss America. And thank you for getting in touch. I really do appreciate questions. Thank you. Right, so the second one is, where can I buy your book, Mr. Bloodfire? Well, there's lots of ways you can buy my book. My book is available in all good bookshops, and it's available on Amazon. And I'm also launching a competition. So if you want to walk away with a free copy of Brock Steel Sphere, there is a competition. All you need to do is email me the answer to the following question to me on Getter. My Getter link is below, and all you need to do is answer the following question. Who is what is 007's name, and just DM me to Getter, and there we go, and that's it. You don't have to give any other details, and the competition's running into the end of the month. And what we'll do is, at the end of the month, I will pick out 3 names out of a hat, because it's 3 paperback copies up for grabs, and you could be a lucky winner. So that's how to get my book. So it is available from Amazon and all good bookshops. But thank you again for asking that question. That's really, really appreciative. I'll run through the competition shortly again if you missed it, and I think there's details below, but there we go. So a third question. Hello, Amy. Hi, Amy. Very nice of you to drop by. Really appreciated you on. Thank you for coming. That's really good. Lots of things to talk about today, as usual. That's great. So another question from somebody. I forget which country they were from now, and I'm not naming people, but another question is, if you were to recommend a good book to discover gender ideology, which ones would you recommend? Now, we did have this stream a couple of episodes back. It was episode 13, and it was where I was sat in the gender critical library section, but I will run through after I have a drink, because my throat's a little bit dried up again. There were several books that I recommend. There's lots of books out there, but these are the books that I recommend. And if anyone's got any other books, they can always put them in the they can always put them in the information, Messages below is what I was going to say. So the first one is Irreversible Damage by Abigail Schreier. Excellent book. It's one of the best I've read on trans ideology. They're all good that I'm going to read. That one, is a good one. But yeah, that's available still because I have checked. The people, again, if anybody's complaining about these books, it's not because they're actually complaining because they have genuine complaints about them. They just haven't read the books, and it's just because they think that it's going against what they want and whatever. But ignore people who complain and have you read it for yourself and make your own mind up. That's what I would say. Second book is Trans: When Ideology Meets Reality by Ellen Joyce. This is another really good book. I enjoyed reading that one. I've enjoyed reading about the Fafafini and all sorts. Really good book. Yeah, so Trans: When Ideology Meets Reality by Ellen Joyce. Brilliant book. That's another one you want to your book collection. Again, read it for yourself. Don't condemn because other people are condemning. Read it for yourself, and you'll find that it's actually quite interesting and good. Next one is Feminism for Women by Julie Bindel. Brilliant book. Great, well worth a purchase. And then we've got Material Girls: Why Reality Matters for Feminism by Kathleen Stock. Another good one. Brilliant writer. Absolutely fantastic. Another great purchase. So that's another one to add to your library. And the next one is Invisible Women: Exposing Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Crado Perez. A great one, another great book. Yeah, I mean, these are books. There are more, as I say. Put them in the comments if you've got any good books. And yeah, there we go. That's brilliant. So that's on the book recommendations. I did recommend them on the other ones, but I've said it again now, so you probably don't need to go to the Critical Library episode 13, but you can do if you want. Right. So the next one is we're gonna it's like I've said, put book recommendations in the comments for people to see. But as I say, these top 5 are well recommended. So yeah, I'll tell you what, Amy, I'm absolutely starving. I've been on this diet now for a couple of weeks. I've been on the Slim Fast diet, and I'm like replacing meals, and I'm absolutely starving. So I did go around and buy some chocolate and some other things. So I've had a bit to eat. So my stomach is not best place, but I hope you've eaten well today as well. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, and just a reminder that all those books are written by women, bringing some sense and reality back into the gender critical debate. Please support them. They do deserve support. They're really fighting, and they take all of them take a lot of abuse online. I really see the abuse they take, and it's really horrific. I mean, I take abuse online, but they've been at this longer than I have, and they really take in an horrendous amount of abuse, unnecessary. One of the questions I always say is, do LGBT alphabet soup people think that attacking women like this is doing anything for your movement? It really isn't. You're making enemies, but I can't tell you that, but you'll find out in the future. But I'm not supporting a movement that attacks women like this, that destroys women's spaces, that destroys women's sports. I'm not supporting it, and I won't, and that's why I'm speaking out against it. Well, let's start with the latest. Oh, you don't do diets unless it involves eating more than usual. Do you know what? I've never ever really been on a diet, to be honest. It's only the fact that over COVID, I've sat in the house and I've done work from home, and I've mainly been at home, and I've just put so much weight on, and I thought I've just got to stop eating. I don't get out much to do a lot of exercise at the moment, and I think that's another reason. So I'm having to cut food down, otherwise I'm just going to balloon and balloon and balloon. And as I say, I've got a conference in October to attend, and I really need to get thinner in order for the suit to fit me, because none of the suits that I own fit me, which is pretty poor. So I've got to slim down, but yeah, I don't normally do diets, and I don't normally recommend diets. I just think a good balanced diet with exercise is all right, but I'm going to make an exception. But I'm starving all the time now. It's horrible. It is. Right. So something Yeah, so it's like I say, we'll start with all the latest and breaking news across the Western world on gender ideology, and I think I'll start with child safeguarding. That's the one I was talking about on my blog, on a few of my blogs actually, as I do have more than one blog, but even on my main website, I was talking about child safeguarding, and this is something that really caught my attention. And there's a few things caught my attention over the last couple of days, which have really churned my stomach. This is one of them. Girl Guardian have sparked another trans row after publishing an interview with the parents of a biologically born boy who began living as a girl from the age of at the age of 5. I mean, this is something's not right about this. I mean, you know, there's an even worse one that I'm going to be reading later on, but 5 years old, you know, transitioning, you know what I mean? It's very, very concerning why we are allowing adults to transition 5-year-olds. I mean, and chances are they're making this, you know, boy wear girls' clothes and sending him to school as a girl and making him believe that he's a girl. Because at 5 years old, no, there's no way that people can be questioning the gender. And if they are, it's because the parents are doing it for them. The parents are putting this into their head, and it's something's very, very wrong. You know, so it's like I say, please speak out about this, because this is very, when this child grows up, if they're not actually a girl, which they might find out they're not, you know, this is going to do a lot of damage in their life. Could be construed, and there's no simple way that this could be child abuse. You know, I mean, if this person is a trans person, you know, then we're never going to know that at 5 years old. I mean, surely this is child abuse. If this is not child abuse, then I don't know what is. But you're forcing, you know, a boy to wear girls' clothes. I don't get it. I mean, surely it is. You know, prove me wrong. You know, it really turns my stomach. It really concerns me, because this isn't the only 5-year-old that's been transitioned into a different gender by the parents. You know, this is one of a few that's happening at this age and younger. So the interview, the article, has rightfully received quite a lot of condemnation. It's been blasted as dangerous, reality-defying nonsense. Because that's what the Girl Guardians have published this interview with these parents. You know, it's concerning. You know what I mean? I mean, how on earth does a child aged 5 years old know anything about gender, let alone wanting to change their gender? You know, surely not. I mean, I don't believe this, and I just cannot see how this is possible. And yeah, it's like I say, it's bordering on child abuse, and forcing a boy to be a girl from the age of 5. If it's not, what am I missing? The article angered me, really. It really, again, it churned my stomach. It angered me. Because the reality is, nobody's going to challenge this, whether it's wrong. You know, nobody's going to say this is wrong. The police are not going to knock on the door and say, you know, you're sending your boy to school as a girl. You know, they're not going to do this. The social services are not going to get involved. You know, it's nobody's going to challenge this to say it's wrong, unless you out there can speak out. We're exposing it. It's been exposed, but it needs to be exposed by more people. More people need to complain about this. But, you know, my beliefs in this is totally wrong. I mean, how can I think any other way? I mean, this is a 5-year-old child. This is a baby. This is an infant, somebody who's probably just started school. I mean, I started school at 6. I know they start at 4 now, but this would be preschool for me. And oh no, this is, you know, I mean, we shouldn't be transitioning 5-year-olds. Surely there should be some protection mechanism in place to protect our children from this, and there clearly isn't. This is a decision that children should be making themselves when they're much older than 5 years old. Parents shouldn't be making this decision for children, and parents are going along with it because, you know, at 5 years old, you know, parents are very much behind this. So it really confuses why it really confuses me why this has been allowed. I don't think it should. And, you know, if this child grows up and they're not the different gender, then a whole lot of things that that's gonna, you know. And what has really also made me very angry is that the Girl Guides, their organisation, are cheering this on, boasting their trans inclusive credentials. They're using this child. And this is a very sick thing that Girl Guiding's doing. It's very damaging for Girl Guiding. I mean, there needs to be changes in Girl Guiding, surely. I mean, you know, and likely if parents are, if the parents are as concerned as I am, you know, why don't you speak out? Why are all these parents letting their kids, you know, go to Girl Guiding? I mean, does it not concern you that now boys are infiltrating Girl Guiding under the guise of that they've changed the gender, that they're really women, they're really girls, should I say, that they're trans girls? Really? I mean, and you know, why would you allow your daughter to be in a place that is supposed to be a girl-only space, but actually has been invaded by biologically born males that you're not allowed to call boys? Can you not see the safeguarding issues of children when this happens? Are you not concerned you're not allowed to question why boys are sleeping in the girl-only dorms on trips, likely using their toilets and other spaces reserved for girls? Has this tarnished Girl Guiding forever, or are parents just not bothered? You know, it worries me. I mean, I'm sat here and I'm thinking, you know, what's going on? You know, why is Girl Guiding so obsessed with bringing biologically born boys into girl-only spaces? It's a good question. You know, can somebody answer that? Somebody out there tell me why they're doing this and getting away with it? You know, because remember, this isn't about allowing boys into Girl Scouts like girls went into Boy Scouts. So this is not. So I'm going to repeat that because I said it wrong actually. So this is not about allowing boys into Girl Guiding. Okay, this is about allowing boys into girls' private spaces reserved for girls. Toilets, changing rooms, dorms, showers. You know, so it's not about all boys can join Girl Guiding. It's about putting these people in their personal spaces. You know, where are the concerned parents? Can you talk to me, please? Can you put what's happening in Girl Guiding on social media? And if not, why not? Why are you not speaking out? I mean, are you really too scared to say, well, I better not speak out, so I'm just going to send my daughter to Girl Guiding? You know, I'm just interested. I'm just interested why, you know, that Girl Guiding think it's all right to allow, you know, boys who legally in this country cannot transition into women or girls. They're not allowed to transition until the age of 18. So they're not legally allowed to do this. Yet Girl Guiding are saying yes to boys, you know, who are saying they're girls, to use the girls' toilets, girls' changing rooms, girls' dorms, and girls' showers. The parents, you know, it's very, very concerning for me why this has been allowed to happen. Thank goodness. Thanks for Maya speaking out. Maya Verstatter. Thank you for Maya Verstatter for speaking out. And thank you to everyone else. I've seen quite a few things on Twitter that people are speaking out. Thank you to these people. But there should be more. And there should be more parents saying, oh, I've got a concern about this. You know, I don't understand why, you know, maybe it's the fact is people are like, just can't believe what's happening. They can't believe that, you know, young boys are being allowed to use the girls' toilets, changing rooms, dorms, and showers. Maybe they just can't believe it's happening, but it really is happening. Why, I really don't know, but it is. So please get in touch. Let me know. You know, tell me about it. Tell me your experiences. I would love to put that on my social media profiles. I've got a lot of followers throughout 200 social media. I'd love to let people know how your girl is suffering, you know, in Girl Guiding by allowing biological boys into their spaces. Please let me know. You know, I'm contactable on quite a lot of things. Getter, Twitter, message me here, email, anything. Let me know, please, because we need to put we need to put this into perspective. We need to let more parents know what's happening. So I'm going to move on. Okay, because I've got quite a lot to get through, and we've gone through 20 minutes already. That was quick. I can't believe it. I thought it was only about 5 minutes, but it's not. We're nearly 20 minutes. So, with parents across the Western world repeatedly expressing concern about their children being taught in schools, about what's being taught in schools, um, about gender ideology, but now cases are emerging that teachers are actually transitioning pupils into another gender behind parents' back. The Times reported 5 years ago that teachers were being told to let pupils switch gender without parents' knowledge or consent, and this is in the United Kingdom. In the US, there's quite a famous case, which is in full swing after a furious Florida mother is suing the school after teachers created a transgender support plan for her daughter without a knowledge or consent. These, sadly, don't seem to be isolated incidents. I mean, I'm hearing more and more about, what's happening with regard to teachers transitioning pupils behind their parents' back. This is horrific. I mean, you imagine sending your son or daughter to school, and they're changing their genders, and in some cases, they're letting them wear a dress. It's. I mean, this is really, really worrying. We need to do something about this, and it would be really, really better if more people spoke out. So, please do speak out or support the people who are speaking out, because this is getting quite serious. I never thought that LGBT alphabet soup rights or activists would ever take this far. I just had no idea how sick this has gone, and it really has. I'm pretty sure that in the future this will be turned around, but it's going to damage a lot of people's rights. It's going to damage a lot of It's going to damage the LGBT rights completely. But stop this from happening, please. We've got another one here in the Scouts Association. It's facing backlash in the UK after the new trans fund badge is given to members as young as 4 years old. Now, 4 years old in the Scouts are being indoctrinated with gender ideology. 4-year-olds. I mean, first we're talking about a 5-year-old, okay, that's been, started being changed into a girl. Now we're talking 4-year-olds that have been given trans badges. Why are 4-year-olds being given trans badges in the Scouts? Our dads out there worried what's happening to their boys. You send you send your son to Scouts to become a man, or to prepare him to be a man, to camp out, to be cook, doing all the things that, Boy Scouts do. And he comes back and he wants to be trans. He wants to change his genders. I mean, a dad's not concerned about that. And if you are, if you've experienced this, if you've had these issues, you've sent your son to Scouts, and suddenly he's come back, with his trans ideology hanging over him, let me know. Contact me. I'm open, to exposing all this. I'll put this anywhere. I've got a lot of social media out there, a lot of contacts now. We want to know about this. Please contact me. Let me know. Lots of channels you can contact me. I will be putting an email address up soon to be contacted. So please, contact me. If anybody wants to see those articles that I've just mentioned as well, there were 3 articles that I was talking about. If you nip onto my official website, which is alexbloodfire.com, and you click onto this, the actual post that's advertised in this link, the nightclub link, you will see that you'll be able to get all the links of what's happening. I mean, it's terrible, really. It's such a shame that this is happening, and this is ruining a lot of people's rights, and will do. And it's a real shame that, I'm hearing more and more that people are saying, well, a lesbian, gay and bisexual and people doing this, is this what they're pushing for? And I don't really think it is a lot of, I mean, there's certainly some out there that are doing it, but I think a lot of us, a lot of lesbian, gay and bisexual people are walking away from that. And it's really heartbreaking to see where the LGBT movement's gone, really. Even though I don't think that ever was a proper movement. It's always been LGB movement, really, not LGBT. But moving on, in other quite distressing news, Stonewall has put out a tweet, and I'm going to read it. It says, research suggests that children as young as 2 recognize their trans identity. Yet many nurseries and schools teach a binary understanding of a pre-assigned gender. I mean, who are Stonewall targeting here? You know, what are Stonewall trying to do? You know, what is Stonewall trying to do with these 2-year-olds? I mean, can these 2-year-olds talk? You know, can your child talk at 2 years old? I don't think I could. And yet they recognize they're transgender. I think something's very wrong. This has caused outrage, by the way, this tweet. The tweet goes on to say that LGBTQ inclusive and affirming education is crucial for the well-being of all young people. I completely disagree, and I think there's quite a lot of people on Twitter also do. This is damaging and worrying nonsense, because let's understand that, you know, many organisations and quite a few government departments are still subscribing to Stonewall and their ghastly, controversial schemes. It's what this tweet is absolutely disgusting. It's caused a lot of outrage. There's a lot of people reported it to the Charities Commission. If you want to see that tweet, you can see it on my Twitter account. I haven't put it on. Oh no, I've put it all over my social media. So if you want to see the tweet, and you can report it to the Charities Commission, because they shouldn't really be saying this. This is absolutely. They've gone too far. MPs are calling it out, and everybody's calling it out. Lots of people are calling it out, should I say, and including MPs, including, you know, I mean, how can anybody support a tweet like that suggesting that 2-year-olds recognize their gender identity? They don't. They can't even talk, you know. They're coming into this world, and Stonewall are coming out with this crap. It's time, really. So Stonewall has become the monster LGB created, and now it's up to the LGB to destroy them. I totally agree. I absolutely agree. It has become a monster that LGB created. And I'm embarrassed to say that I actually did subscribe to it and pay money back in the day. It is up to LGB to destroy it, but I think it's also up to the government to get these government departments out of it. Why should the taxpayer be paying money to an organization which is coming out with tweets like this, suggesting that 2-year-olds should be getting education in nursery? I mean, I didn't even think 2-year-olds went to nursery. I mean, sure, you know, wow. But you know, they are. But you're right. The LGB people need to destroy them, and we do need to destroy them. Absolutely, completely. It's time for these organizations and government departments, like I say, to stop being filled with this damaging nonsense, and you need to drop them. You need to come out of Stonewall, as us campaigners have been saying for quite some years. And there are a lot of campaigners across the UK asking organizations and government departments and companies to come out of Stonewall. Can you see why? You know, what sort of research would conclude 2-year-olds are questioning their gender? None. Well, only, you know, I would be very interested to know where that research came from. You know, 2-year-olds cannot possibly know about gender. And if they want to change genders, no, they can't know about that. Not only that the overwhelming majority of children that we are talking about, nearly everybody grow up to be straight, and that's the thing. This is a point I wanted to make, that they're on about, you know, that we should bring this education into nurseries for 2-year-olds, but the majority of people grow up to be straight, heterosexual in the gender that they were born in. Nearly everybody. In fact, it's nearly everybody. You know, the people that they're talking about are extreme minority in an extreme minority. So, you know, you're inflicting all this rubbish on all these children for the sake of one person in I mean, I don't know the figures, but it's an extreme rarity. And then people might not even be trans. You know, they might not even be in the, you know, I mean, I don't believe personally that, you know, I don't believe that people are born in the wrong genders. I just think it's an expression. And I think if people want to express themselves as a woman, well, that's something they should be doing as an adult. You know, I don't think we should be doing this to our children. This is absolutely appalling. But it's like I say, you know, why is this being allowed to be inflicted on the overwhelming majority of the population? Let me know in the comments. Why do we need this untrue, damaging nonsense in our nurseries aimed at 2-year-olds? That's more to the point. 2 years old. I mean, you know, we're talking. It started off at 6, then it went to 5, then now we're talking about 2 years. It'll be 1 next. It'll be now. These people have been born now. We need to start talking to them about gender. What a stupid thing, you know. And again, I ask you, you know, who is Stonewall aiming this at? Well, it's 2-year-olds. You know, that's what they've said. They're aiming this at 2-year-olds. I mean that is it's simple. They're aiming it at children at 2 years old. Please don't support ghastly Stonewall. Speak out. If you want to see, yeah, I did mention this, but if you want to see the Stonewall tweet, I've clipped it and I've posted it on my Getter, Twitter, Facebook, Gab, Parler, Minds, and other social media accounts. A controversial organisation like Stonewall needs to be called out. With this in mind, I've made a formal complaint to the Charities Commission. I would suggest you check the controversial Stonewall tweet and make a complaint too. Stonewall shouldn't be doing this. It's rightfully angered many people, and on Twitter, I mean, I see many people are very upset about the tweet, and I expect the Charity Commission to be inundated with complaints. The more the merrier, because the more they'll listen. Please make sure that you're one of the complaints. This could also, by Stonewall, by the Charities Commission ignoring this, it could even bring the Charities Commission into disrepute for allowing a charity like Stonewall to say such ridiculousness of this. So, you know, please do report this to the Charities Commission. Please report it to the Charities Commission. There we go. So I'm going to have a little drink after that. It's my pineapple cocktail. I should have had a drink actually, but it's my pineapple cocktail. But there we go. So I just want to give you a little reminder that we are doing a competition. It's going to run to the end of the month. This is on. All you need to do is tell me who is what is the name of 007, and just DM it to my Getter account, and then at the end of the month I will pick everybody off and put them in a hat, and then pick out 3 lucky winners, and then let you know, and then we can and I'll send the book anywhere in the world. So anywhere you enter, you know, I will send it. It is in English though, so it's just in English. But yep, no. Okay, so still on with Stonewall. Okay. This is good news actually. This is good news. So Martin Callanan, okay, and it is pronounced Callanan, I did check, who is a Conservative peer and minister in Base, has just tweeted on Twitter a few hours ago that he's delighted to announce that all Base ALBs have now followed the department's lead and stopped funding Stonewall UK. BASE stands for the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, and they're all now Stonewall free. This is absolutely brilliant. As like I say, it was announced on Twitter earlier, which is good news, probably because of that tweet that Stonewall put out. And I am hoping that this appalling tweet from the controversial Stonewall causes many people to complain to the Charities Commission, and the government departments wake up to this ghastly organisation and drop them immediately. The tweet was appalling and sick and beyond belief, even for Stonewall. It's really made me feel sick inside that Stonewall have tweeted such a tweet suggesting that 2-year-olds are, you know, can know about their own gender. It's, you know, can know that I just can't. It makes me feel sick. So Amy says that year-olds are just starting to form sentences and often imitate behavior and words. At this age, they have about 50 words in their vocabulary. This is a healthy 2-year-old. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could talk at 2 years old. I was a bit of a slow development. I don't think I could talk. Do you know what I mean? I don't, you know, I don't. And this is where Stonewall are now aiming. They're aiming at 2-year-old. The gender ideology is now being aimed at 2-year-olds. This is very, very. Oh, that's all gone blurred. It's very, very concerning. Really concerning. Let me just move because it's all gone blurred. It's got to. It's focused back. That's better. Okay, right. Okay, so moving on in Scotland. Okay, Nicola Sturgeon and her SNP government are accused of flouting a court ruling to redefine women yet again. This came out yesterday. It was around yesterday. So are the Scots not concerned about this? And if so, let me know your feelings in the comments. I know a lot of Scots are speaking out, but can even more Scots see the impact of redefining women to include men? See the impact on the children. That's the thing. See the impact of what of what redefining women to include men, the effect they're having on our children. This is what's important. I mean, we know that men can't change sexes and they can't change whatever, but children don't. And again, they're aiming this at kids. It's not adults they're aiming this at kids. So I'm just going to read a comment from Amy. She said an autistic 2-year-old will struggle more with language, communication and learning, and will be more vulnerable. And it's so funny, Amy, it's the autistic kids that are going to these gender clinics. The vulnerable, the mentally ill and the autistic kids that they're getting. They're not getting the general vulnerability. Well, they are getting some of the general vulnerability thing, but these are the people that they're picking on. It's children. They're aiming this at children. It's unbelievable. We need to do something about it. We really do. I mean, please, out there, speak out, speak out, support the people who are speaking out, contact your MP, let them know, and report Stonewall to the Charities Commission, because that tweet is enough to make anyone sick, and there's going to be a lot of complaints, but report it. And I'm saying that now, and I don't care. I'm saying report that tweet to the Charities, because they shouldn't be saying things like that. They're an organization, they call themselves a charity, report it to the Charities Commission. Now, what we've got is, I mean, one question I want to ask is, what is it about Nicola Sturgeon's and SNP's obsession with men in dresses? This has been going on a long time. They're obsessed with it. Are they being paid to do this? Is money coming from somewhere? Is that one of the reasons why they could be doing this? I know the Liberal Democrats, it did come out that they were receiving money from, was it drug companies, puberty blockers companies? Is the money now that she's voted out in Scotland, is this where money's coming from? And if it is, if anyone knows about this, as well, if you've got any whistleblowers, please contact me, speak to me. I will expose it. I will expose what is going on. But I'd really like to know what Nicola Sturgeon and SNP's obsession is with these men in dresses. They're determined to get them in all women's spaces. So, that's it. I'm just moving the mic just a minute. Right. Okay. So, women's sports. Okay, we've got some brilliant, fantastic, and absolutely great news in women's sports. Okay, it was announced yesterday, and it's very good progress for women's rights. Okay, so it looks like, and it looks like it's got to go through yet, but it looks like that trans-identified males, that's biologically born males, are to be banned from British female rugby very soon, close rugby. So the Rugby Football Union will recommend that this council votes to ban trans women assigned male at birth from assigned male at birth. Now it does. I'm reading from something that where they have said that they're assigned at male at birth. People are not assigned male at birth. Okay, so I am quoting what they have said. But anyway, they've said anybody that's born male, basically, are going to be banned. And this is in a bid to prioritize fairness and competition and safety of players. This is big news. It's a progression of women's rights. It's brilliant news. This is a real step forward. I'm really, really pleased of all the activists. I'd like to thank all the activists out there who are fighting to do, to get to save women's sports, to save women's spaces, to forward women's rights and LGB rights and children's rights. You people are great, and this is the icing on the cake for us, really. So thank you to all the activists. You're working very hard. I know that you receive a lot of abuse on Twitter. We all do. It's all us activists are receiving abuse. Keep going, because we will win this. Nobody is going to allow unfairness in sports, and eventually the truth will prevail and fairness will prevail. So thank you to all the activists out there. You are heroes. Thank you. So in October 2020, the World Rugby announced guidelines recommending against trans women playing women's contact rugby on safety grounds at an international level. So that was as old as 2020. But now the British, certainly British sports, it looks like they're going to ban it, so that's good. But let us not get too complacent, because unfortunately, and at a disadvantage to women, okay, biologically born male Will Thomas, now known as Leah Thomas, is being nominated by the University of Pennsylvania for NCAA Woman of the Year. Okay. What can we say about that? I mean, this we all know that Thomas isn't a woman and he shouldn't be honoured as one. It's insulting and damaging to women, as well as confusing our young children. Please speak out. Don't let the University of Pennsylvania or the NCC get away with this lightly. This is wrong. It's not right. We need to document this for future generations. The more tweets you put out, the more complaints you put out, the more activism you put on this, it'll be documented for future generations who will look back at this gender nonsense and how it plagued our society and laugh in disbelief at how stupid we all were to let it get this far. And we have been very stupid to let it get this far, but they will look back, because this won't win, it won't succeed, but we do need to fight it, because the less people that fight it, the longer it will take. If everybody stood up and say this is not acceptable, it would stop. We would stop this. So people need to call out this nonsense for what it is and be on the right side of the history, which is to get biologically born males out of female only sport. And we are starting to see that. We are starting to succeed. But, men don't belong in female sports. Please help stop it. Okay. In other news, I'm just going to have a little drink, actually, because my throat is a bit dry. So I'll have a bit of the pineapple cocktail. Really delicious. Okay, so in other news then, the LGB Alliance has been forced to raise nearly £250,000 to retain their charity status, because it's been challenged by mermaids and their ilk. Please support this important charity and share the crowdfunder. The link is in the information below. Don't let a ghastly organisation like Mermaids win. I'm deeply shocked that LGB Alliance is having to raise a whopping £250,000 simply to retain their charity status, simply because it's been attacked by mermaids. I'm hoping that there will be repercussions for mermaids in the future for what they're doing, and I think there may be. A charity like Mermaids wasting money to attack on another charity in the way they are could have consequences for their own charity status. We'll see about that. I'm certainly going to be looking at that and making a formal complaint to the Charities Commission when LGB Alliance win, because LGB Alliance are not going to back down. Why should they? I mean, I think mermaids are a vile charity. I've never really seen eye to eye with mermaids. I really do, and I don't understand, why LGB Alliance have got to lose their charity status because of mermaids. I mean, no, it isn't going to happen. So I will be taking that up with the Charities Commission, but as I've already taken up Stonewall up with the Charities Commission today. So I'd encourage you to with Stonewall, I'd encourage you to report the tweet, which you'll see in all my social medias. So please do that. Right. So in other news, David Chappell, okay, the comedian, he's come out to say that First Avenue Theatre in Minneapolis should have more courage after they bowed down to the woke mob and cancelled his sellout show. His show was moved elsewhere at the last minute, but First Avenue Theatre, this is just silly. Cancelling somebody's show because he's a comedian and he makes jokes. It's really silly. Is doing this to David Chappell doing anything for trans rights? Because I don't think it is. I don't think it's doing anything for anybody's rights by trying to destroy a comedian. And all he's done is had the last laugh. He's gone on to another venue at the last minute, and everyone's gone, and they've all had a good laugh, and that's it. I don't really see how this has helped First Avenue Theatre. I've had quite a lot of condemnation for what they've done. And I would like to personally condemn First Avenue Theatre as well for what they've done, publicly YouTube. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one. Okay, this is GP in Scotland. We've got a lot coming out in Scotland. I really want to know what the obsession with trans is in Scotland, and there really is an obsession. I really wonder what's going on there. I really do. Are they receiving some money somewhere along the line? Are they receiving a considerable amount of money to do this? Something's not exactly right, is it? I smell a rat here. But anyway, GPs in Scotland to be told to give trans hormones on request. So warnings come from the doctors that they aren't qualified to treat such parents. So this means more mistakes. It means more future regrets. It means more medical negligence. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, are people in Scotland going to sit back and let hormones be pushed to the mentally ill, vulnerable adults, and our young adults, you know, and our young children? I mean, is it going to stop? I mean, who are going to get these hormones? So they're just going to push them on children. It's child safeguarding. You know, I mean, this is very concerning that they're quite happy to just say, look, you know, you now prescribe these hormones from doctors who have said they're not qualified to do this. It's very, very concerning, very worrying. We're already seeing the mistakes of detransitioners coming up across the Western world, and we are. I mean, more and more detransitioners are coming out, saying that they made the biggest mistake of their life, and now Scotland are going to try to transition more people on less, you know, on self-ID, basically, on less information than ever. It's very, very concerning what Nicola Sturgeon and her SNP government are doing. They're going to make a situation worse. It's already bad. It's a medical scandal that's happening right before our eyes, and it doesn't seem to be improving, especially in Scotland, you know. So please speak out, you know, support the people who are speaking out, and, you know, complain, you know, get angry, because this is something to get angry with. This isn't doing people a favor by transitioning anybody now, you know, and forcing doctors who are not qualified to do it and have said they're not qualified to prescribe drugs that they don't want us to prescribe. It's wrong. I worry for people. I worry for the people in Scotland with Nicola Sturgeon and the government doing this. I really do. One day we'll see Nicola Sturgeon kicked out as the First Minister of Scotland. I can't wait to see this happen, because I'm not a fan of Nicola Sturgeon. But will it improve the situation for Scottish people? Will Nicola Sturgeon and her SNP's obsession with men's in dresses subside when she goes? Let's see. And then lastly, we've got the election coming up. So we've got Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. They're the two contenders for leadership. I am a Conservative. I'm a Conservative member, and I do get a vote between these two people. So if you're out there and you want me to consider one over the other, let me know why you would vote for, let's say, Rishi Sunak, or whether you'd vote for Liz Truss. I'm not saying it would sway my vote, and I will keep my vote confidential, but you never know. You know, you never know. I mean, I've got my own one of them. I don't know. I'm quite in the middle, but I do have my own one of them. But maybe you could sway me. So, you know, in the comments, if you want to let me know who you would vote for in the contender for leadership, so please let me know. I think that they're both, you know, I have nothing against both of them. I like both of them, actually. I like Rishi and I like Liz. And Liz has certainly done a lot of speaking out for gender ideology, which is good. So I like them both. So let me know who you would vote for, and, you know, try to convince me otherwise who I may vote for. But as I say, my vote will be confidential. I'm not going to you know, dictate where. I'm not going to reveal, should I say, who I'm going to vote for. So I've run out of things to say now. Just to say that I've had an acknowledgement from the Charity Commission for my complaint with regard to Stonewall. So they've definitely received my complaint. Okay, and they've definitely acknowledged it. So the complaint's there, and I'm publicly saying that, you know, I'm publicly saying I've made a complaint about Stonewall. I just noticed your comment there. You say, personally, I couldn't vote for either as I'm not a Conservative. Who would you vote for, though, Amy, if you had the choice? I mean, I can see that people are sort of swaying me on this Truss, but Rishi Sunak's also good. I mean, he's not a bad guy. I mean, you know, but you know, you don't have to just let me know who you would vote for. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know which one to vote for, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure that lots of people will let me know. Right. So I'll let everybody know about my book. Now I've got a competition running. So if you want to, it's competition time, should I say? If you want to enter my competition to win a paperback copy of Brock Steele, all you need to do is answer the following question and DM it me to Getter. Now Getter have just started DMs. Okay, so they're brand new. They only started them, I think it was, they only started them last week. Okay, and so in celebration for DMs, you know, I'm not official for Getter or anything, but in celebration, I'm quite excited because I don't know whether anybody knows, I have been banned from, or I was locked out from Twitter for 6 months. I am back in now because unfortunately, I had to accept the violation, but I had a good time on Getter, and I'm still, Getter is my favorite platform. So to celebrate the DMs, okay, what you have to do is just DM me 007's name. This is a character written by British novelist Ian Fleming, and he appeared in 26 swashbuckling movies. So just let me know his name. You don't have to give any other details, just DM me his name. And then on the 31st of July, after midnight, so midnight, that's when we're closing, I will put all these names in a hat, dig out 3, let you know who's won, and then I will mail them to anywhere in the country. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you can enter if you live in America, Australia, Africa, Asia, it doesn't matter where you live, but the book is only in English, so it's in British English, okay, but yeah, you can enter the competition until the 31st, so until midnight the 31st. So please, if you want a free book, you know, a free competition book, please do it. I'll just read it out because I have run out of things to say, and there is a little bit time left, so I'll just read the actual thing out. And it says Brock Steele knows his name and very little else. After a vicious attack in mysterious circumstances, Brock has abandoned him. He has no idea why he's been hounded by a mysterious man with a gun, or why the people around him, or why bad things keep happening to the people around him. And why a strange voice is talking to him from the walls of his flat. When he's forced to go on the run to save his life, he has to decide who to trust, and making a mistake could be fatal. Can Brock find out who he is, why he's been hunted, and stay alive in the bargain? Well, find out. If you enter the competition, find out. Thank you. So, right, I guess that's all I've got time for. Please do subscribe to my channel. There's some good things going to be happening in the future. So, you know, if you subscribe to my channel, you will be alerted to all my live streams. Yeah, so that's and please follow me on social media accounts, so that, you know, the more people that follow me on social media accounts, the more we show to trans activists and governments that, you know, these people who are talking have got a lot of support, and we do need to change things in the gender ideology thing of life. So yep, so thanks for everyone who's joined me. There has been one or two people on today, so thank you, and thanks Amy for joining me. Have a great weekend, take care, and yeah, we will speak soon. So yep, thanks again, bye.